Welcome back, everybody, to Catching You. I'm your co-host, Rusty Ham. With me is my beautiful other co-host, my daughter, Lacie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Just got back from Parents Weekend of your brothers at Utah Tech. Met his girlfriend. So things are looking up for the boy.
Little man.
Little man is not a little man anymore. He's a man's man.
Sort of.
So we're going to come out this weekend to your place, hang out a bit with you and Olaya and her boyfriend. Can't wait to meet them. So, Lace, let's talk about, this is your senior year, a month into your school year, right? A month and a half or so?
Yeah, today, the third. Well, we're almost 2 months into school.
Oh, 2 months into school. Okay.
Yeah, wait. No. Well, a month and a half.
Sure, that's what I just said. Okay.
A little over a
Anyway,
month. A little over a month.
yeah. Anyway, so this is a 180 from last year, right? So last year, you had a good summer. I thought we had a good summer. You and I working on staying back. We did some drills. Felt like you were faster, right? I think we
Yeah.
talked about that. You were complaining about your scapula in the summer, but it wasn't too bad, right? It was just like,
No.
it was just kind of uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely started in the spring, and it was more like March, April time. But I always complain about this constant knot in my shoulder that could never be like fixed. It's like my trainer was always massaging it out and she's like, it's not budging. I'm like, well, I don't and it was just a knot. Like it was not uncomfortable in any way during my sophomore season. So I pitched all the way up until the tournament. But we went through summer and then still had this knot going into junior year and it turned into something that I didn't really like.
Right. Yeah. So, people say, pitchers, you guys can pitch forever because of the way your arms slot, the way you pitch. You can pitch, multiple games in a day, right? What you did when you were younger and you didn't have any problems. But um, pitchers can get injured. Like their arms can get injured.
Mm.
You definitely have to care for it. You can't just pitch, 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 pitch and not do anything about it, right?
Yeah, and I mind you, I mean, I was going into treatment all the time. Like I was
Mhm.
getting ice on my arm, I was doing contrast on my arm. I was if people know what Normatec is, it's like the inflatable thing and then it puts pressure and then it deflates. So, I was doing all of that stuff and nothing really works.
Nothing worked. And then on top of that, right, you had a new pitching coach. He was a veteran type of coach, meaning he was a little older. He's actually older than I am. So he had some old school type of drills, thoughts, and I don't think he knew the rules at the time where you had a certain amount of hours per week, and he was really, you threw a lot of bullpens, a lot of live, right?
Mhm. And during this fall semester, so it's the semester of my junior year, fall semester, which is I'm finishing out all my GEs. I probably had like two left, and then now I'm taking a good majority of my major classes. And for my major, for psychology, a lot of the classes are in the morning. Like there's only if you have to take this certain major class, you have to take it. And then there's only a certain amount of times that you can take this class. So I was missing a lot of practice. Like team practices, I was probably gone for about half of it every single day out of the week, except Fridays, because I didn't have class on Friday. So my one on one bullpen would either be before team practice or after team practice. So I would get there super early or I would be staying super late. And I mean, they were long, long bullpens. And I mean, I wasn't complaining because I'm just not a complainer in general. But sooner or later, I could not even move my arm in a circle. Like that knot, I don't even know how to explain it. It felt like something was like jabbing into my shoulder every time I went like up like towards 12 o'clock and then down into my whip.
Yeah.
But man, and then I remember calling you one time and I'm like, it hurts to breathe.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, why does it hurt to breathe? But I mean, I go to my athletic trainer and she's like, you need a it's basically inflammation, so I'm taking anti-inflammatories and that barely works. She's like, so after that first week of anti-inflammatories, I'm like, see if I could pitch again, and I do like 3 circles. I'm like, I cannot pitch. And so this is about the time where fall ball is starting, like literally a year ago today. And she's like, you have to sit out until like that inflammation goes down. And I'm like, well, how long is that? She's like, well, probably a month. Oh, so all of fall ball.
Right.
She's like,
And you don't like sitting out, like you
no.
like the last time you had to sit out was, that horrific, you know,
Yeah.
ball hitting your head to your skull, and you had to literally sit out.
Yeah.
um, yeah. So this was different. This is a different kind of injury. Um, we had a good summer, like I said, as far as technique. You were wanting to implement that. Now you're injured. You can't play. You have a new pitching coach. I think you get in one game of fall.
The last game against Stanford.
Yeah,
No, no, no. I didn't even play against Stanford. I didn't play against Stanford, and then we went to West Valley, and I pitched, I think, like the last 2 innings of the West Valley game. But I
right.
only got 2 innings all the fall in fall
Yeah,
ball.
yeah. So that's not going to help going into the season, right? So talk about, you know, I mean, we've talked about in the past that you didn't have a very good junior year season,
Hmm.
as far as ERA or strikeouts. Your strikeouts were way down,
Yeah.
and it was a combination of a lot of things, right? It was a combination of new pitching coach, not having a good fall, or not having a fall at all,
Hmm.
um, and you know just not having a good season. I think, and then mentally, you're probably not all there, right?
No.
Majority of the time. I don't know if you want to chat
Uh,
about the season and the difference between kind of, because that's hard. You have this injury. Again, we talk about mindset, we talk about mental health. You're shut down for the fall, and then you're expected to do well, right off the bat.
yeah, I mean,
Come back.
there's there's only so much pitching live to your own team can do. So now my teammates have, I mean, the girls that are my age have seen me so many times. They know my sequences, they know my spin, they know when a changeup's coming. Like they've seen me way too many times. And I mean, I bet girls in travel ball can relate. Like they probably do live every single weekend, right? And their teammates gradually start catching on to um their sequences and how their timing and everything. So when I'm pitching live to my team, like after I come back from my inflammation, I mean, I'm just getting pieced up, really, because I haven't pitched in a month. They're throwing me into live against my team who knows exactly what I pitch. And I mean, I live is the time for pitchers to really establish confidence, establish a routine, pre-pitch routine, post-pitch routine, especially in fall ball against other teams that don't know you as well. Now you can get in the groove of being in game mode. But now when I'm in live against my own team, I just feel defeated. And so now I'm just going into winter break. I'm like, well, what do I do? Because after I come back from winter break, it's season.
Yeah.
We have double days, and then February we start season against other teams. I've seen 2 innings against other teams. And the last time I pitched against another team was in May of that year.
Yeah.
So almost a whole year of not seeing any other teams. I go into February. And obviously our first weekend was not good at all. So fall ball is like, they say it's not important, but like for pitchers, I feel like it's really crucial, especially building confidence and knowing what your routine is going to be and knowing what your mental routine is going to be. So I love fall ball.
Yeah, and then nothing against junior college, right? These girls,
Yeah.
they're not like, they're not horrible. They're these are good girls. Maybe they didn't have the grades to get to a 4-year college, so they still have talent. They're just maybe taking the first 2 years to, get better, and then transfer to that 4-year. So typically in the fall ball, you're gonna play some JCs, and you pitched last, I think, a couple of days ago, and you did really well. And then you're gonna pitch again this weekend, right? In a couple of weeks.
So you're coming this weekend for Parents Weekend, and then the
Yeah,
weekend after that we play San Jose City College, and then go to West Valley, where
yeah.
West,
So
though both pretty good JUCOs.
yeah, they're the top JUCOs up in your area, and so it's good for confidence building. Like you said, you're pitching live against different girls, different people. They don't know when your changeup's going to come. Like your team, your team probably knows exactly when you're going to throw a changeup.
Mhm.
Now you got this. So again, junior season, not very good. I mean, even your team, I think you almost got last place. I think you're second to last. Um, and so you're almost like, you know, mentally it's hard because now you're going into your senior. You're like, well, I don't want to have a senior like this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the pitching coach resigns. You get a new one. She's super young. Um, she has energy, which we kind of talked about before. We're like, God, I hope, I think I said to you, I hope we get somebody young that, it's just has a ton of energy and because when they're super young, they probably have ideas on what to do. And, they don't have all these old school ideas, which is,
Mhm.
good. So you got a fresh mind in there. So talk about now with the new pitching coach and this fall.
I mean, it's kind of like a 180. What would you say?
At
180?
180, yeah.
180? Because
Yeah, you don't,
360
it's not 360, you'd be back to where you were.
total 180.
Yeah.
Um, we're our bullpens are definitely more quality over quantity, I'd say. So we're pitching less, but she has a lot of focus on the intent of our pitches. So every pitch has some sort of intention. And so like this past weekend, we focused on quality innings, and
Mhm.
there's certain columns to each that make up a quality inning, such as like um how many pitches did you pitch in the inning? So our goal is 15 or less. How many batters did you face? It's like 5 or less. First pitch strike percentage, which is like 66%,
2 out of 3,
2 out of
hopefully.
3. Yeah. Um and run scored and or
Walks.
walks. Yeah, so we calculate all of the stats of that like inning, and then is it a quality inning or was it not a quality inning? So on Sunday, all of our innings were quality. Like throughout the whole pitching staff, all 6 of us, all of us had quality innings. There was no like not quality inning.
Yeah.
So, but what's crazy is we played that same team last year around the same time, and we almost lost. Like
JC, right?
it was a 1-run game.
Against a junior college. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and it was a walk-off. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yes, we walked in,
Right.
and we're like last year we were like, "Oh my gosh. This is insane. Like we're going to get chewed out." And we did. And we did get chewed out. But this year, first pitch, one of our lefty slappers hits a inside the park home run. First pitch of the game. Second pitch, triple. third pitch, double. Like, it was insane. It was such a different, like, it just seems like a different team in my eyes. Like,
Yeah.
we're playing so loose and we're having so much fun, and you can tell all the girls are just really into, like, putting all their energy into that. I mean, our first game, our first ever game together.
Right.
So, I mean, we scored over 25 runs on
Wow.
Sunday, and compared to our one run game last year, like,
Right.
it was insane. And I think it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, and you're so you're at your place, and if you guys don't know San Jose State, the fences are they're very pitcher friendly. 235 down the line.
Mhm.
I think 220.
245 dead center.
Yeah, 245 dead center, 235 down the line. So for a softball field, that's a pitcher's paradise. I don't think you give. I think you maybe have given up in your 4 years there. One home run, maybe
No, there was
maybe
two in a
two.
row against Boise
Oh,
State.
that's right.
So more than
More than
two.
one. More than two. Okay.
Probably
But
less than 10.
yes, which is yeah. Um, and so that's awesome. That was your hope this year, right? Your senior year, you were hoping to. And again, the season's not over, so things can change.
Yeah.
But your hope was going into it that you would get a quality pitching coach, someone that you can relate to, and then you could just go out there and I don't want to say have fun, but be relaxed,
Mhm.
right? Now expectations of winning conference, you know, you guys are probably like, maybe, maybe not. We'll go for it, but we definitely don't want to be last.
I our I think our thought process, like, so we come in first team meeting, especially as pitchers, like, our pitching coach said every single Mountain West team lost their starting pitcher. We're the only Mountain West team where all our pitchers came back. So we have our whole staff back from last year, and she sees that as, like, the biggest opportunity ever to have, like, our whole pitching staff back. And say, like, the other Mountain West teams, like, lost either one or two of their starting pitchers.
Right. And what I liked about your team is no one went into the transfer portal. Everyone stayed,
Yeah.
which was cool. You don't see that a whole lot lately, especially when you're second to last. You would imagine some girls be like, "Well, this place sucks, and I'm out of here," but they didn't do that, which is cool. That's a testimony to Tammy.
Mhm.
Um, and well, yeah, and your pitching coach wasn't she the pitcher of the year last year in your conference?
Best pitcher of the year, yes.
The Mountain West Pitcher of the Year is not there anymore. She's actually on your side, which is a good thing.
It was
Uh,
funny, she was talking about the other day when she posted that she got the job. Everyone was like, I thought this was, like, another commitment post. Like, I thought you were committing to San Jose State. But, and then she was like, no, I'm gonna be the pitching coach there. And they're like, whoa, well, that's a crazy advantage because she knows every Mountain West team inside and out. She
yeah,
knows the lineup, and I mean, obviously, if they get new girls, they get new girls, but she knows hitters very, very well.
yeah, and she's older, right? She's not like 22. I think she was
Yeah.
a 6 year player. So she's got some maturity. Sounds like she's got a game plan, which is cool. I like the intention behind pitches. Every pitch there's going to be an intention behind it, which is super cool because now your thought process is, and you guys might eventually be on the same page. Like when she calls a pitch, you'd be like, yeah, that was the pitch I was thinking of,
Mhm.
something like that. Okay, so now describe the upcoming year. You are at the Mary Nutter.
So exciting. I'm
Okay,
excited.
that's every girl's dream. So when you go to the Mary Nutter, if you've never been there, you see tons and tons of little girls with softballs or jerseys or whatever, and they walk around and they get their jersey signed by, college players, right? You were one of them when you're, and then now you're there. And not many girls can say, okay, I went to Mary Nutter and got, Sierra Romero's autograph, and
Yeah.
now I get to go and play there, and I'm probably going to be signing some autographs. So I don't describe the feeling behind that.
It's kind of weird. I mean, I was telling you the other day, like, obviously, like, our schedule for the Mary Nutter, we're playing some teams we've already played before. And, like, when, like, the Mark Campbell Invitational, I mean, all those teams we've never played before, and they're all ranked top 25. Like, that was, like, the dream of
Right.
just all those teams. The biggest team we're probably playing is Nebraska, um, which is cool. I mean, I know some girls on that team now that I played against growing up, and it's on like one of the main fields. So like everyone wants to be on one of the main fields at Big League Dreams. So that's really cool, and like having the opportunity to possibly like pitch against them, and it's weird because like we'd be on like in the outfield in the metal bleachers
Yeah.
with my teammates. We'd all be in there our little like dry fit jerseys with our balls and then our little catalog, and then after, or like in the background, like UCLA is warming up, or like on the other side, I don't know, Oklahoma's warming up, and I would just like see the pitchers in the bullpen, and it was just they look so big, like those girls look so huge,
Yeah.
but now I'm that huge girl to some players,
Yep.
so it's kind of surreal. But yeah, I mean, am I going to be giving autographs, or are they going to go to Jordy Ball? I don't know.
I would imagine you'll get some autographs. You did last year at LMU. You got a couple autographs. I don't
The
remember
Mark
that.
Campbell one and the LMU one, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So
What do you think? What do
what's
you
that?
what do you think about me playing in the Mary Nutter? Because you would take me to Palm
Oh
Springs.
yeah. I mean, it is surreal because we booked Airbnb to go out there, um, and me and you would sit in the outfield, behind the fence and watch them play, and you'd sit there and just wide eyed, just like oh my god, these girls are so, like you said, they're just so big, and uh and then now you're gonna do it, and I'm just so proud of you because you kept bugging Tammy. You kept bugging Tammy like, we have to play there, we have to play there.
I mean,
And
I was happy when we did the Mark Campbell one. Like that, I mean, I would have been fine just doing that one.
yeah,
But I'm like, I want to play in the Mary Nutter. I want to play.
yeah. Well, and you also played at Cal State Fullerton. You played some really top teams there, right? You played Cal State Fullerton, Oregon. We played UCLA last year, so it's not like these other tournaments that you went to. They're really good too. Like the Mark Campbell one was, Oklahoma, Duke, Liberty, Oregon. Or it wasn't Oregon.
Washington.
Stanford, Washington. Stanford is just like, holy cow! I mean, you guys didn't fare too well, but you got to play against those teams. So I'm super excited for you, just because of our conversation prior to going your senior year that you wanted certain things, right? Because we've talked about it with other people that we've interviewed, right? Some people just want their senior year to be over with because they've had a terrible experience. Some people don't want it to end because they've had a super awesome experience. You're kind of in between. You're like I don't know if I want it to end, but I also don't want to have a bad season and have that attitude, which is you don't want to like struggle, um, like you did last year, and then have that attitude. I can't just wait until the season's end. I don't know if you want to touch upon now that you're a senior, your mentality as far as the end is almost near, and what kind of thought process are going through your head?
Well, I mean, I've had some of my younger teammates ask me the same thing, like just randomly, like if we're going to practice or something. And it really hasn't set in yet. And I don't really know why. Maybe it will when like season starts, possibly. But right now I'm like, all right, I got practice tomorrow. Like like it's the regular routine for me. But I think it'll definitely set in like towards the end, like maybe senior day. Senior day for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe if I choose to go to grad school and I get like accepted somewhere, then I'm like, oh, okay,
Right.
that's what's next. And
I
then,
I also think too that you are going to be playing against some girls that you played with, and that's their senior year,
yeah,
right? So maybe looking in the other dugout and saying, okay, what's this the last time we're ever gonna maybe see each other again, and
yeah,
and then like memories start flooding back in your head, So um, no, I'm looking forward to seeing you thrive this year, right? Because you've had a bumpy road.
very,
um, usually you do well preseason because
hmm
these are teams that you typically don't see, and so they don't know you.
yeah.
And then in the past, you've had some struggles in conference, and I think it's just because they scout you, they know what you're going to throw next, and they're
Yeah.
sitting on certain pitches. I think last year they're sitting on certain pitches. They were just like, okay, we're going to let that one go by because I know this next one's going to come.
They did not want to hit my rise ball. They really didn't. And
Yeah,
I mean, that led to me throwing other pitches I'm not as confident in as my rise ball, and then it just snowballs. So, I'm still confident in my rise ball. And especially preseason, that's probably like my main pitch is my rise ball. But they like no matter how good my rise ball was, they just sat and took it. And
yeah,
obviously you don't
that
want
was
it to
fun.
be in the strike zone because that might get launched.
Yeah,
So
they were probably sitting on that and saying, "Hey, this is probably going to be a ball, so let's get ahead in the count and let's wait for that,
yeah.
that high changeup or the screwball." Awesome stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend,
What do you
hanging
want to do?
out. What?
What do you want to do?
Hang out.
We'll go to the football game.
Go to the football game. We don't need to do what we did with Jesse, which is we went miniature golfing and then we went bowling.
Okay.
So we don't need to do that. We could if we wanted to, but we don't need to.
We go to San Francisco. We can go to Santa Cruz.
Yep. Whatever. You're the host, so you tell us what we're doing.
I gotta figure it out.
Okay. All right, sweetie. We're gonna get out of here. Thanks for hopping on. I love you.
Love you.
Catch everybody else on the other side. Bye, everybody.